Welcome to Chaplain's Moment Doctor's Call. Glad you're here with us today. I'm Chaplain John Ring, and I can be reached at john@hopelowcountry.org. This is a ministry of hope of the community, and we're glad to be here with you today to start your week off right. We're looking at parables in July, so let's get to it. This one's a little bit longer than the ones we've been doing. This comes from Luke chapter 14, 28 through 33. I'm going to read it to you first. For which of you, desiring to build a tower, does not first sit down and count the costs, whether he has enough to complete it? Otherwise, when he has laid a foundation, is not able to finish, all who see it begin to mock him, saying, the man began to build was not able to finish. Or what king going out to encounter another king in war will not sit down first and deliberate whether he is with 10,000 to meet him who comes against him with 20,000? And if not, while the other is yet a great way off, he sends a delegation to ask for terms of peace. So therefore, any of you who does not renounce all that he has cannot be my disciple. What's Jesus saying here in this story? What's he saying is, don't just say, I believe. You got to count the cost. You got to look at it. You see, when you build a tower, you have blueprints. And you figure out whether you can afford to finish that tower or you're going to be mocked. That's for the person who says, oh, I'm a follower of Jesus. And the next thing you know, you don't even know where they are. Their history. The world sucked them back up. This is what king goes into battle with 10,000 soldiers against 20,000. He has to decide, can I beat them? Do I have a plan to beat them? Or do I offer them a peace treaty? You know, what he's basically saying is, listen, take a hard look at me. Take a hard look. Take a deep look. Look deep into your heart and figure out, do you have what it takes to be a Christ follower? Then he finishes up with one of the strangest statements. So therefore, any of you who does not renounce all that he has cannot be my disciple. Did you catch that? So hey, it's going to take all you can to build that tower. Are you willing to do that? If not, you're not my disciple. Hey, as a king, are you willing to sacrifice all your men to win the battle? Then you're not my disciple. Take a hard look at what it's going to cost. It's going to cost everything. Following Jesus is not just something we do. I'm so tired of hearing that. I'm so tired of seeing that. You know, in Guatemala, I got to meet people that understand what it means to lose their life in order to save it. I met people who have nothing but have everything. I met a doctor who's building a clinic with his own money. Why? Because he wants to give Jesus. Not only does he want to help people medically, he wants to give Jesus to them as well. I met a guy who's running a rehab clinic who is sold out on Jesus. Probably one of the few people I really sense the Holy Spirit just oozing out of him. Amazing what he's doing. His life is on the line. I met another man who is working in a prison because he's a prisoner. He's a follower of Jesus in prison. And he's had 2 attempts on his life. One, the people took handmade grenades and threw in his room, and they just didn't go off. Thank the Lord for it. And we were able to go into this prison and share Jesus with prisoners who are really the lost people of Guatemala, the least of these. Met another rich couple who they got plenty of money, but they're slowly giving it away for these kids at a school in a tiny little town outside of Guatemala City. Why? Because she says, listen, I was born into privilege and I want to help people who aren't. 237 students in this school learning more every day about Jesus. Then I met a man whose life is on the line. I'm not going to tell you why because I don't want it to be out there too much. And if he could just slink off into the country and never have a problem. But no, he's the face of a Jesus organization in Guatemala City. He comes in the city every day to serve Jesus. He says, hey, listen, if they kill me, isn't it better off for me anyway? I got people that won't get out of their living room. I got people that have the ability to serve the Lord in so many different ways and are doing nothing in the American culture. I met people who understood this parable. They looked hard at it. And you know what they decided to do? Not just believe in Jesus, they decided to follow Jesus. These are his disciples. I surely hope you are too. Take a hard look at Jesus. Do you have the heart of Jesus? Because if you have the heart of Jesus, you'll be willing to give it all up for him. It doesn't say you have to give it up. It says you have to be willing to give it up to follow Jesus. Hope you do. It ain't easy. It ain't easy to give up the comforts of America. I think part of the problem with America, we got too many comforts. Listen, I have it too comfortable. I'm sitting in a nice home. I got air conditioning going in the middle of July in South Carolina. I got a dog. I got a car that's nice. Got too many nice things. Nice things block being willing to give it all for Jesus. Those 5 people I mentioned are the real heroes of the faith. Powerful people. People that are making a difference. The gospel is alive and well in Guatemala through people like this. I can't wait to go back. I'm going to go back in September. If you're interested in supporting the mission trip to Guatemala, contact me, John at hopelowcountry.org. Be glad to talk to you about how you can help the cause with Vine International. Appreciate it. Hey, are you counting the cost? Is it worth it to you to give up what you got for Jesus? Because don't forget, as we looked at last week, he's the pearl of great value. He's the treasure of the field that you'd be willing to sell everything. Thanks for joining me this week. We're going to look at next week. By the way, next week is my birthday, July 31st. We're going to look at another parable that's a little bit overlooked in Luke 15. It's called the lost coin. So join me next week as we look at the lost coin parable.